Hey guys, welcome to the KJ Methods YouTube channel. Okay, in this module, we're going to start getting into the math. Now you know about the magic T. Now you know about percentages and fractions and decimals. Let's start doing some math problems. The first ones we're going to start with are really easy. These are the land description math problems where they're trying to tell you how many acres in a parcel. That's generally what they're doing in the land description. So a couple of rules here. To perform these problems, you need to remember some information. Length times width is the square of something. Length times width is the square of something. When I say of something, it could be feet times feet would be square feet. Or it could be miles times miles would be square miles. And we are always looking at these problems, the two sides next to each other. Be careful of this. Sometimes they give you four sides to a problem. That is not what we're trying to do. We need length times width only. Sometimes they also use the word depth, and then students get all confused. They mean how deep it is, how long it is. It's exactly the same. Okay, so on these problems, what we're looking at, length times width equals square feet. Let's just say this side is 250. The side right next to it is 275. Notice it is the two that are next to each other, not opposite from each other. So if you take 250 times 275, you can do that math. You get 68,750 square feet. What that means is this entire area, that entire area is 68,750 square feet. And so what do they want to know on these problems most of the time? How much is that in acres? In other words, they want you to convert that into acres. And so if we go ahead and do that, we have to remember some things. We have to remember that there are 43,560 square feet in every acre. Remember that? I'm sure you do from class. Sometimes they say 4 old ladies driving 35 and a 60, 4 old men driving 35 and a 60 to get you to remember. Well, all we're doing is taking that square footage that we got and converting it to acres. If we want to know how many acres are in that square feet, then what do? Divide by acres. It's the same, guys, as if you wanted to know how many quarters were in a dollar, you would divide by quarters and it would tell you 4. So the same thing here. Let's look at this problem. Step 1, we would have our 375 and 350. Let's multiply those together. And that is what you should get on your calculator. That's the area inside. So how many acres is that? Real simple. Let's just convert it. We take the 131, 250 and go ahead and divide it by an acre. So we got 131, 250 divided by 43560. We know that that's how many square feet are in an acre, and we get 3.01 acres. Real simple, right? Well, sometime we got to go the other way. And this is where the wheels start falling off the bus, right? Because everybody knows how to multiply forward. No one knows how to do it if they take away one side, and they typically do this. So they're looking for one side, and so they say the front is 480 and the area, that means the inside, is 236. And so it looks like this instead, right? They want to know what that side is, and we know that the middle is 240. 36,000. And so how do we work this problem? Well, I teach my students a little trick here. We say that any time there are two numbers on two different sides of the equation. You know what I mean by that? You see right here, there's the 236 on the right and the 480 on the left. Anytime that happens, I want you to start on the right-hand side. That's number one. And divide it by the left-hand side. So take the 236. Step 2 would be divided by 480, and we get 492. So the other side would be 492 feet. Very easy, and you can test my math by then multiplying the 492 times the 480, right? Go in the other direction like we did in the last slide, and you'll see that it comes out to 236. So this little rule really helps my students. When you have it on two opposite sides of the equal sign, put the first one in the calculator first and divide it by the second one, starting from right to left. Okay. Sometime they give you some really weird land description that looks like this. This would be a land description on a government survey. What they're essentially trying to say is, where are you in that section, or how many acres are you in that particular section? If you remember, a section was just 1 square mile. We had that township, which was 36 square miles. Hopefully your instructor did this for you. We're talking about government surveys. We break it down into townships and then sections. So by way of review, a township is 6 by 6. 6 miles on one side, 6 miles on the other side, 36 square miles. A section is 1 by 1. So 1 mile on one side, 1 mile on the other side, so 1 square mile. Well, a section is also 640 acres. All of these numbers you should remember for the test. And then you get this really weird looking land description like I have on the board. Northwest 1/4, southeast 1/2, northeast 1/4. What does that mean? I'm going to show you the easy way to figure these out. All you're going to do is take all of the denominators and multiply them together. You remember the denominator was the bottom of the fraction. So I'm going to take 4 times 2 times 4, and I get 32. Well, how many acres in a section? 640. So all you have to do is take 640 and divide it by the 32, right? So take 640, divide by 32, and you will get 20 acres. So that's little area that they're talking about in this land description is 20 acres. I hope that was helpful to you. That's it for land descriptions. I'll see you in the next module.
Jumpstart your real estate career with KJ Method. Pass the exam with flying colors, only with KJ Method.